everyone, welcome back to my 0 to 10K journey within 90 days. Just in case you haven't had a chance to catch up, watch my first two videos. Basically, I'm building a marketing agency from scratch, and you're really going to see how I go about doing this. So I'm about a month into it, I would say. So I'm going to give you all the nitty-gritty details here, okay? And I'm going to tell you my feelings as I went through the motions and I did everything, all right? So in the beginning, I did reach out to people I've known through flag football. There's somebody who is a super networker and they're in the real estate industry, okay? So I thought, hey, maybe I can make myself of use to them with either a free offer or a super cheap offer and get a testimonial at the very least, right? Like you need good reviews and testimonials to get things rolling, okay? And this person is a super networker, all right? So I'm talking about going to events a couple times a week at the very least, and they are in the real estate niche, okay? And then there's another person I know, and I know these people because I've played flag football for over a decade now, and I know a lot of people, and I've never really leveraged that for work purposes, okay? So I ended up eating lunch with them. They set me up with a small lunch date or whatever you want to call it, work date. And they wanted to understand what I do. And so I talked about the social media services I'm offering, email marketing services I'm offering. And so nothing big came out of that because they were getting ready to head out on vacation a couple days later. Now, there is another lead, and let me explain that. This other person who I'm about to talk about is a friend of that person. They're both in real estate. Now, the second person might possibly actually have use for my services. I reached out to them through messages and they were busy until like very recently. They wanted me to reach out to them after they got through some traveling. So that time would be pretty much now. So shooting this video is a good reminder that I need to do that next Monday. I shot them a short video showing them how having a landing page would be highly beneficial for them. Unless I'm missing something key here, they do not have a landing page, and that could really serve them very well. And having an email list, which they probably do. And if they don't, then they're wasting precious leads. That'll be coming up. Let me slow down and explain something. Because I've always kept my work separate in the online world, I've been blessed enough to do SEO for people all over the world, okay? I've had several clients in the US, overseas, you name it. It's been done, e-com, affiliate, whatever, all of it. It never involved my friends or any connections I made through my flag football league. It just never, I just didn't need to do it, right? And so this was my first time doing something like this. And honestly, I was so nervous. I was really nervous because I am very introverted. I'm extremely introverted, and going into it, it kind of feels like a job interview. Like I've got to say the right words. I got to make even though I wasn't going there to sell, it's this internal pressure that I've put on myself. Like maybe I do need to sell. The truth is that I've made more money having conversations with people and seeing if they have the need for my services, because then I show them that they have the need for my services and how it can benefit them, right? After that meeting, which went totally fine. The lunch went fine. I had a little landing page demo for them to give them an idea of what I do or what I could do for them, all of this stuff. I talked about email marketing, social media marketing, how it'd be beneficial, this and that. They did suggest that I go with them to a couple of events coming up, and it's going to be a bunch of real estate folks there too who could really use my services. So that's one of the things I want to do, is network with people locally, because that's a huge advantage to have. What I'm trying to say here is that people don't do the harder work. So if going to meet people in person sounds terrifying, a lot of people aren't going to do it. I'm willing to do that, and I'll be doing that coming up in July. I've been a little bit slow with that. And I got slow with that because an idea popped up into my head. First, I started contacting people in the SEO space that I've been friends with for a long time. Like I'm talking about a decade or more. I told them, hey, I'm starting a marketing agency, and these are the services I offer. If you want a white label, or if you want to refer people to me who are inquiring you for that, I can, here are my prices. Here's what I can do. With that said, some of those conversations turned into, hey, you've been in SEO a long time. I know what you can do. You are super credible. You're authoritative, but you're not really showing it off on your Facebook profile or in your group or whatever. Like you're pretty silent, or maybe you post once a week, but it's not quite what it could be. I've built, being an SEO myself, I've built that 6-figure agency. I scale up and down with Affiliate Phoenix as I want. I looked at it as an immediate need of my services that they could use. And honestly, I wasn't even selling them. I was just showing them. And I did this through a video analysis of maybe 10 minutes or 15 tops. I only did that for 10 or 12 people, and I got about 5 or 6 clients from that. Now, they're not the most, except for one. The rest of them aren't like the biggest gigs or anything like that. And truthfully, they're one-offs. I want to build a client list in the long run. It would be easier and more profitable for me to get that recurring revenue going. But this is the beginning, you guys. This is how everyone starts. And no one has a perfect way of doing this. And also, during all of this time, because of the free analysis, I got at least 3 testimonials. There should be 1 to 2 more coming. Those testimonials and reviews are going to look powerful. Because I did the free analysis, those folks found value in that. And so I got at least 3 testimonials from that alone. After I got those, here's another thing I did. I made a small offer to them. Because I'm in the beginning phase of creating this agency, I have a lot on my plate. I'm not ready to sell 3K, 4K, 5K packages yet. So I have a few smaller plans. I made them small offers that most people can afford. I gave them a sample of what I can do. Now, I'm in the middle of delivering those right now. After I submit the work, right? Then I'm going to see if I can get further testimonials for the paid work I've done. Hopefully you see that it's all about pleasing the client, whether it's a free offer, whether it's a small paid offer, whether it's a big offer, then it's even more important. No matter what stage you are, doing your work well and pleasing the potential client, the lead, the customer, wherever you are, is extremely important for you to build a solid agency in the long run. You build a house of cards, the wind blows, the cards are going to fall. Okay, they're just going to fall. So yeah, I've been kind of all over the place because that's how agencies start. That's how you start at the bottom. With that said, I hit about $3,900 for this month. It's not recurring. I would love for it to be recurring, but it's not quite there yet. And at the end of the 90 days, I would love to be at $10,000 per month recurring. I know there are all these people showing off how they've quickly, scaled up their agencies, but I've also found out how quickly they lose clients. I'm not into this churn and burn shit. Okay. So yeah, so that's where I am. All of the sales I got were through my professional network, so we can call them warm leads or whatever, because all I did was have conversations. And the first thing I did was offer free evaluations. After the free evaluations, I made a small offer or whatever, and a few people took those offers. There might be 1 to 2 more sales that could happen in the next few days. We'll see how that goes. But not a bad start, right? Not a bad start at all. And I wasn't expecting it. No matter what, like, I always underestimate myself, and you probably will too. But I would say that if you needed money yesterday, or you're starting from scratch, reach out to whatever professional network you have or family and friends who could use your services and give you testimonials in exchange, because that makes your job 100 times easier. Trust me on that. Now that I've gotten a few clients, okay, my goal is this. My goal is to start 3 to 5 new conversations every week with my existing professional network, who I'm going to call my warm network. These are people who have known me for 5 to 10 years. And the thing is, it's okay if your professional network hasn't known you for that long. That's okay. It's not about the number of years necessarily. My goal is to have conversations and new 3 to 5 conversations every week. If that goes somewhere, cool. If it doesn't, I've done free work for them, and I don't feel bad asking for a free review or testimonial for the work that I've done. It's a win-win either way. You're helping people out by telling them what they're missing out on. And in my case, it's so easy to look at the broken links and say, hey, you're not doing social media that well. You don't want to sound insulting, right? Because everyone's doing their best to do what they're doing. And what ends up happening with small agencies or 1 or 2 person agencies is that they're too busy fulfilling the services to be able to post on social media regularly, to spend the time to craft those awesome posts, to write case studies, to email their email list consistently. And I was there once, so I can totally relate to it and have a normal conversation with it about it. So I'm going to keep that pipeline going. However, I'm adding something more to my plate in the meantime. Okay, hear me out. This is a little bit different. Okay. I will be doing Instagram cold, ice cold. Oh, it's freezing. Burr, 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 burr. Survival. How am I going to survive this? I'm going to be doing cold outreach on Instagram. I do not take rejection well. like a lot of human beings out there. I don't care if I don't get responses, but the really harsh responses are not fun sometimes, right? Like that's just anybody. But with that said, I'm setting some realistic goals for this. I'm not going the automated or automation route yet. My goal is to do personalized outreach on Instagram to about around 200 to 250 people in 30 days. For some of you, that's going to sound like a lot. And honestly, it probably needs to be twice that much at minimum. But in the beginning, everything takes longer. Also, I'm trying to make these more personalized. So either I can hit that mass, that huge number game and make it non-personal, or I can make it personal and hit a smaller number, right? And I'm praying that that's going to be more effective in getting some responses. So what am I going to message them? IG is completely different for me. I've always struggled with Instagram. Okay, but recently I've picked it up and I'm having a blast with it on 3 different accounts, and I'm doing a 90-day experiment with that, and that's a completely different beast. But for this, it's because okay, let me slow down and explain something. To me, while there's tons of money on LinkedIn, and I believe folks, it's a little too stiff for me. You know what I'm saying? Like it feels very stiff, very business suit. I just don't feel very natural on there connecting with people. But with Instagram, it seems more casual. It seems like you can have conversations on there. Hopefully I can, and nobody's gonna say F you. You know what I mean? It seems like entrepreneurs are hanging out there. It just the vibe seems different to me. And I'm going to follow. I mean, maybe I will test out LinkedIn later on, right? I want to follow where my instinct is right now. Instagram is a lot different. I'm going to test out 3 different types of messages. One is going to be interactive. All of them are going to start out with some sort of interaction because they have to interact back with you for there to be a conversation. If you send them a message and they never respond to you, they're never going to see that message. After that step, what needs to happen is I need to offer them one of 3 types of messages. The first one is going to offer them free value with a link in it, straight up. Okay, either I'm going to offer them an email they can use in their email marketing, or if they have a missing, I don't know, landing page, like something small, right? Something that gives them an idea of what I do. Hopefully they'll open it up. Second one could be a 5-minute or less Loom video I could create doing free analysis like I've been doing for my SEO friends. Third one is going to play on vulnerability. Ooh, my heart's on the line, you guys. No, I'm just kidding. It's going to play on vulnerability and say, hey, I'm starting off from scratch. Hopefully you know what that's like. It's going to be worded better than this, right? And so if you need something small done or a small project, now you know what I do. And just let me know. I would love to do it for you. Something along those lines, because you know what? At the end of the day, with the right person that might hit, because if I'm being honest, like the times when I've been the most genuine, the most authentic, that's when it's always paid off. We'll see how this goes. Why I'm choosing to do cold outreach like this is because honestly, it's a beast that I've never properly tackled. I've done this before. I believe I've done this through email before a long time ago at the start of my career. I landed a couple clients that way, SEO clients, believe it or not. I landed a dentist, I want to say over 10 years ago. It had to be close to 15. And he paid me $1,500 for SEO. He was a local dentist. So, I mean, if it worked back then, I don't see why it can't work now. It's just a different platform. Let's just see what can happen. But one thing that I am honing in on a bit, it's happened by coincidence, but I am enjoying chatting with other entrepreneurs, other SEOs or SEO agency owners like me in the SEO space. It's been fun telling them or analyzing where the gaps are in their social media and their email marketing, why they're not getting inbound leads. You know what I mean? Which is super attractive because with inbound leads, I remember closing 8 out of 10 of them any given week, and the other 2 would probably come back a week or 2 later, and then I would close them. It's the easiest form of sales. I am having fun chatting with other entrepreneurs and seeing what they're missing, how I could help them out. So maybe I'm going to end up helping agency owners down the road. Like maybe that's going to be my niche. I don't know 1,000% right now, but if you fit that, I'm happy to do a free analysis for you. And what I get out of that is it helps me hone my skills, and you can always give me a free review in exchange. It's a win-win. With that said, I want to do the whole Instagram thing for 90 days as well, just like I'm doing this for 90 days. And I will be letting you know in the next episode how the hell it's all going. I would love to get retainer clients in these 90 days. And that's going to come with time, right? It's all a numbers game. Some of these folks are going to have a one-time use for me, like service that they need from me. And some of them could be like, hey, this kicks ass. I need you every week. Sorry, every month. That said, guys and gals and anybody who might be non-binary in my audience, please hit like, please hit subscribe. There's no fluff here. I'm always going to get to the point. I'm always going to share any failures I have, any successes I'm having. And honestly, the $3,900 that I hit, I was not expecting to hit that. My goal was to hit 2K, and I would have been happy starting off an agency, right? Starting off a brand new agency from the start, from the ground. But I guess my professional network knows me, and they've seen my case studies, they've seen how I write, they've seen my social media marketing. And so it's been easier to say, hey, I can do that for you too. Whatever you're offering, your clients are waiting for you. Don't hold back. Okay, so I'm supposed to say, smash that like button, hit subscribe. But if you do that for me, I'm just going to ask you nicely, please do that for me, and I'll keep making these videos.